Friends, children of the dragon, and noble guests, please lend me your ears, for I shall tell you a tale, a myth of distant times, shrouded in the mists. Once upon a time, the lands of the Midrealm were empty, stretching wide, filled with abundance, and yet they were lonely. And then through the air came flying the dragon, a great green dragon. She was old and tired. Her children had spread far across the land, and she needed a place now to call her own. And so she took herself to the Midlands, made a home, feasted, and then after she feasted, she slept. Once again, the Midlands, the Midrealm, seemed empty. What was to come? A brave people, a noble people, a strong people came from east, from west, from south, from north, from all the directions they came and found the land pleasing. And so they made themselves a home. They grew strong, they formed their separate bands and yet united. And then woke the dragon. And she saw that her lands were no longer empty. Her deer were being eaten by other people, her rabbits, her cows, her sheep, her fish, her crawfish, her grain. Everything was being devoured by these humans. And so she took herself and arose in might and swept down on mighty wings and set flame to the hamlets and villages and towns of the Midrealm. The people were frightened. The people cried out, "What shall we do? Who shall lead us? Who shall save us?" And one man stood, a bowman strong and brave, by the name of Cariadoc. Cariadoc said, I shall face this dragon. I shall protect you, my people." And so he took himself and girded himself. With sword, with shield, and with bow, he came against the dragon. And they fought. Grievous was their fighting. 2 long years of fighting had they. And in the end, both were sorely wounded, both were sorely exhausted, and both were sorely tired of fighting each other. The dragon looked at Cariadoc and she said, "Noble man, I have found in you a worthy competitor. And I see how your people cleave to you. I see how your people trust in you. And I see how you serve a noble purpose. You seem as their father in their protection. I too once had children, but now I am old. I do not want to die, and yet I find I do not want you to die, so I shall strike a bargain with you. I will let you rule this land. I will take your children as my children under the wings of my protection. And I shall set you as their king, their first king, so that you might have my sigil. You shall rule these people of your Midrealm. And I will do this for you too, for I am weary and I must sleep. But just in case you decide to rule more than is your right, you shall only reign for 6 months. And then you must choose another to take your place. And as long as you keep this bargain, I shall be your protector. I shall be the protector of you and my children, your people. And when you have chosen your successor, but before that successor has its successor, I shall wake and I shall watch over you. And so it passed that Cariadoc was king. And 6 months later, there was another king. And so that king, for a month, had no successor. The dragon woke. And so at coronation, the dragon wakes every 6 months and watches all over us, her people. And then she sleeps sound and secure after crown tournament, knowing that the people of the Midrealm, their kings, their princes, their queens, their princesses, are all secure and everything is as it should be. Let us bid good night to the dragon, and may she sleep well until the spring.